Hello and welcome everyone to Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment. I'm very excited to play this game and share this experience with all of you. I'm a big fan of this series of Sherlock Holmes games, and now it's time to solve some crime, and I hope that we will make the right decisions and solve the murders, the crimes, and everything else that we encounter. Let me know in the comments below if you have played any of these Sherlock Holmes games by Frogwares. I think they've done a tremendous job with their games, and I really enjoy them as a fan of point-and-click games and these types of adventure games. And maybe you are familiar with them as well, maybe not, and this is your first experience with them. That is maybe even better, because then you can experience this game blind as I play through it. Now, let's waste no time and start in a game. In memory of the Ukrainian Heavenly Hundred. Wow, that was a loud intro. The fate of Black Peter. Some evidence requires additional investigation. It will be marked with a special tooltip. Miss an important phrase in a dialogue? You can always open the case book and check the dialogue log. Oh boy.
Holmes!
Take cover.
Holmes, will you stop that? You are utterly mad.
We did it, we survived, we didn't get killed
Stop,
by...
Holmes.
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate.
Forward and step, clinking handcuffs. Policeman. Right, a step avoided. Inspector Lestrade.
Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
Oh, that's
You're out of
lovely.
your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Okay.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The Merry Men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone then.
I will take care of that. Okay. First of all, I need to adjust the audio once again. I did it before, but the effects are just too loud. Okay. Open the casebook. Here. Investigate the murder of Peter Carey. Inspect the crime scene at Woodman's Lee. Select a suit to wear using your personal wardrobe and join Lestrade at Woodman's Lee. So that is our goal right now. Profile of the victim. Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, born in 1845, and so 50 years old. He achieved great success in whale hunting in Scandinavia. How do I swear that? In 1884, eventually moving to Woodman's Lee. Okay. That is what we heard from Lestrade. No documents. It was the conversation. Character portraits. Alright. Well, let's look around a little bit before we do anything. Oh, hello. I think I remember her from a previous Sherlock Holmes game. I think from the Jack the Ripper one.
You go along to Peter Carey's house. Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here.
Okay. I'm not sure if I can highlight anything to see which kind of things I can interact with.
What a mess! What a terrible mess!
I'm sorry, Miss Hudson. Or not.
My
I'm
analysis
sorry,
table. It is useful for my work.
but I don't think Holmes is too sorry about it.
My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. This is where I keep my post.
Okay. Oh, that's Watson's room. What is he in here? Movement is a little bit floaty, like he moves very easily around. I use the joysticks. Oh, we'll get used to it. Makeup table. Oh, we can... Okay. Put on the disguise. Can we choose the hat? Let's go with the hat. Glasses are locked. Facial hair. Those are quite the options. They're all locked though. That looks good. Oh, we already put on our suit. With that. We have a casual suit. Black suit. What's the difference? Okay. The brown suit. The green suit. The gray suit. Light suit. The bandit outfit. Farmer outfit. Morning gown. Sailor outfit. Unbuttoned shirt. Casual suit. Okay, I don't know what we go with. Maybe the brown suit. Let's go with the brown suit. I think we're quite dapper. This one. Oh, now we leave to Woodman's Lee. Open deduction. There are no... Oh, right. So here I think we have to connect the evidence to later come to our conclusions, but I'm sure the game will explain this more.
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
Okay. And there's Lestrade. Can I run? Yes. Nice.
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Okay. Oh, we can do like an analysis. Let's see. Anything? There's something. Cameo. I don't know if there's a timer for this. There. Catholic Rose. Oh, there was something else, I think. Wasn't there? Not. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe I made that up. Gardening gloves. Is it? Tit. There. And the birdhouse. Character portrait complete. Very nice. Well, was there anything unusual about that night?
Madam, can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream. But I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
Okay.
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
When was the body found?
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock. I noticed the cabin door was open, but I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and... oh dear.
Did he have any visitors?
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. He lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
Okay.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes. Life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Okay, I pressed it. Because of... How do you know about Plymouth? Judith Carey is a woman with an uneasy life due to her unhappy marriage with Peter. She is a very religious Christian Catholic woman who undertook a St. James Way pilgrimage when she was young. So, do I know a profile of the week? That was wrong. It's like the correct answer.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless,
I was
believe
just
it will
not
be
sure
less
if
of
we
a
refer
burden
to
for
that.
you soon.
Yes. Life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Because of the pilgrimage.
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of
I know how
Santiago
it
de
works.
Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand. The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth. I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
That's another day
Thank
for
you,
us.
madam.
Okay. Let's look around a little bit. Ultimately getting familiar with the
Mr. Holmes?
crime scene, of course. Where's Lestrade? Did he go down? Oh yeah, he's down at the shack there. Oh, there's something.
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Okay. Dialogue. The garden and the fields are well kept. A capable gardener works here. See, that is what I like about these games. Like, you really have to do some investigative work. And the more you find, the clearer the picture becomes. But you can also just kind of not find things. And in the end, then you're kind of forced to guess who the murderer is or who's responsible for something. So it really pays off to be diligent. Concentrate your attention on finding details that others are inclined to overlook. Stone pathway. Can I land around stone pathway footprints? There we go.
These footprints appear to be quite large.
Large footprints. Evidence
These
required.
footprints.
Oops. Is there anything else here? Maybe we need something to measure them. So this was the special vision that I put on.
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin. We took care not to touch anything.
That's good.
This window is locked from the inside. I do not see any attempt at a break-in.
Okay, that's
Mr.
interesting.
Holmes?
Can we look around the cabin first? Can already look inside a little bit. Oops. Switch characters. Run. Oh, there is a first-person view. That's interesting. Kind of like in larger spaces, in wider spaces, I prefer the third person, but we may switch around a little bit depending on how well we're doing. But okay, let's go inside.
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
Yeah, that's good.
Hello, hello, hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Oh,
Let me see.
so someone did want to mess with. Examine. Here we go.
These scratches are fresh. You're right. Someone tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Our mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
Maybe, yeah. We're probably not talking about a professional, though. Because they probably either would have had the tool or would have known how to open it. Oh boy.
What a terrible way to die.
Harpooned, it seems. There, shelf. Suspiciously empty,
This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book box or a small chest, perhaps.
Okay. Visualization, I see. Probably a box that was there. Maybe got stolen. Look around a little bit.
Hammerfest.
Dundee, Scotland.
It's a whaling map.
There's nothing. Okay.
The tooth of a sperm whale.
A sperm
Probably
whale.
from one of Peter Carey's catches.
Okay. So we have sperm whales and old seamen.
The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain.
Okay.
The ship's log.
Okay.
Harpoons for hunting whales.
Anything else that I can do with my visions here? Doesn't seem that way. What do we have in the chest before we look at the body? Some boots.
Peter Carey's boots. They look to be a size 8.
Size 8 boots.
Old navigation instruments. Nothing interesting.
I would find it quite interesting, but... Okay, Mr. Holmes. What do we have on the table?
Someone drank from this glass recently.
2 glasses, which probably means that he had a guest.
Rum. A sailor's drink. It seemed that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
And tobacco pouch. PC.
The initials PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work.
Pope Chihuahua, maybe. Pristine coconut. I think I'm onto something.
This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
Oh, okay, so let's... Oh, I have to... I see. Almost. I think. That does not look good. Or maybe. Oh, or maybe. Oh boy. Not skipping this. Tobacco leaf. Oh, I can move it? Drag. Trying to drag it, but... Oh, there we go. Can move it all the way out, all the way in. And this I can move up and down. I see, okay. So maybe if we have this. Oh boy. Thought maybe if we have... Does this make sense? Maybe. And like this, maybe? Oh. That looks good, right?
Yes. This is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors.
Nailed it, our first puzzle. The puzzle master. Pool of blood. Let's look at that. A notebook here.
JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook.
Jack had nostrils.
The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey.
Okay. Ooh, lots of abbreviations.
Mean something, but what?
Guess we don't know yet. We have a knife here.
This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body. This wooden handle is plain and solid. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed.
Okay, so he tried to fight. Okay, let's look.
The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense.
Yeah, that must have taken a lot of strength, right?
Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon.
Well.
Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer.
Yeah, because he also probably had a drink with him, or at least with
this man
someone.
is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong.
Stronghold boy. So now we have here. Okay, so several unsuccessful attempts were made to break in according to the scratches around the log. A leather notebook with the initials. Okay, so maybe we can combine these, and someone tried to maybe break in to get the notebook. It doesn't have to be correct, by the way. An ambush must be made tonight to see if the break-in attempt will be repeated. But these conclusions, they don't have to be correct.
To force the door to gain entry.
So we have to really pay attention to what it says and if it makes sense. It's not just combining them at will. But we'll get to that, and it will show that you can definitely kind of solve the crime or the case in a wrong way.
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that
So
Peter Carey commanded.
The pressure is on. We have to be on our A game as an investigator. Otherwise, we might mess this up. Okay, anything else with our special views that we can see? Doesn't seem that way. So what do we have in our dialogue? A tobacco pouch made from sealskin, which was on the table inside Peter's cabin. The initials PC have been crudely burned into it. Then we have the boots. They appear to be... This has like a cog on it. Maybe that means that we can use it somehow on something, whereas this is for dialogue. Same with the outline of dust. Well-kept garden. Then we have the sharpened knife as evidence. Abbreviations. Ship locks. Identify footprints. Maybe we can check the boots on the footprints.
Mr. Holmes?
Let me see if I can do that. There we go.
These boots don't match the footprints.
Okay, so we know that this was not from Peter Carey. The footprints look larger than the boots. So, and I think this was his size was an 8. So we're talking larger footprints than a size 8.
Well, Mr. Holmes, what do you think?
I think that we are lucky.
And why is that?
Because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oof, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you propose?
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, Ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us.
All right. So is it around here on the other side? Our hiding place. Let's do it.
This looks like the perfect hiding place.
We'll have to talk to the wife again, or the widow, I should say. Each time you complete an observation of a person, a brief summary appears on the Character Portraits tab in the casebook.
Shh! Did you hear that? There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there!
Let's get over there. Oh, look at him. He's ready to go.
Mr. Holmes?
All right, my fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
Innocent? Then what are you doing in his cabin?
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't...
Do you deny that you came here yesterday?
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't...
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the
JHN.
yard. Tomorrow,
The
I'll
initials.
see that you're put in front of the judge.
What? But you can't! I'm not...
Look at his hands.
It's a terrible mistake!
Enough. You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
But...
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector, but please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we should do that. Probably not that easy. We can open deductions now. We don't really have anything. Don't think we can. We. Yeah, this doesn't match. There's no connection there. Doesn't have anything else right now. Okay. And here we are at Scotland Yard, and I think this is a good time to take a break, and we will continue our investigation tomorrow with more Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment. Thank you all for joining me for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, please give the video a like, maybe consider subscribing to the channel, share the video with friends, family, and the people on the internet. That all helps me out a whole bunch and will bring you more content in the future. As well as, if you want to go the extra mile in supporting the channel, you can check out the Patreon link down below, as well as the Discord link if you want to chat with us on a daily basis. I will be back with more Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment tomorrow. Until next time, have a great time. Bye bye.